Remember people in that asshole doctor and social worker. Even though the second time around she said it wasn't me, it's a doctor. Oh, bullshit. You have input too. And they discharged my mom too soon, and I was left to deal with it. And Auntie had sent her little, she belongs in a nursing home, which equates to, I wash my hands of it, Laura, she belongs in a nursing home, writing it off, whatever, okay. They could have kept my mom longer, you gotta understand that. Okay? They chose to not keep her longer. They could have committed her. They chose to discharge her when she wasn't in any condition to be discharged. Okay? Again, I knew that from day one. But the poor woman had just been in back-to-back mental hospitals. What am I going to do? Have her go back again? That's so unfair. Like I said, my heart got in the way. Auntie wouldn't understand anything about that, I should have just not given a shit. Auntie wouldn't have killed herself trying to find alternatives so my mom wouldn't have to go into another mental hospital, so 3 hospitals back to back, That's why I said they're at fault too. And they're the same assholes who helped Auntie do this to me. My mom wasn't even any longer able to charge her own cell phone, people. I was hardly the only person thinking my mom should most definitely be on any shove, any time, not live alone, okay? She wasn't even able to charge her own cell phone any longer. Suddenly wasn't able to do that she'd always been able to do for years. No problem. As I told you, she completely ruined her phone and then blames the phone. I'm again the bad guy. So we went to get a new phone, and I asked the guy, can you please explain to her that she ruined her phone? She thinks I'm making it up or that I'm being mean or whatnot. And that had happened one time during a breakdown. That was when she, as my cousin said, when she's forcing herself to stay awake, it's like your body's going to rebel. You are fucking exhausted, and you're going to put yourself in danger, put us all in, because you are drinking obscene amounts of coffee, and even if you are taking your meds, you're forcing yourself to stay awake with fucking coffee. That is going to affect you mentally. Anyway, it was the time she was out there screaming because she couldn't do her cell phone. But at that time, she was in the middle of a breakdown. So I never would have thought when she's not in the middle of a breakdown, this was later on. And then she was not able to do any longer do her cell phone. So providing she is, like I said, I'm shit now. I've been relegated to pure shit when it comes to my mom. I mean, it's in this existence. But if she is still living alone in Auntie's downstairs apartment, is Auntie charging her cell phone for her every night like I did? Plugging it in for her? Like I said, Auntie's golden. Like Joe said, when he first heard about it, he's like, I could give it a week, until she drives your aunt crazy or whatnot, but it doesn't matter. Auntie's golden. You understand? That experiment could have lasted a week or two, and then my mom could have wound up breaking down or whatnot, or I don't know. Remember, the Friday that I'm shutting off everything on Monday, right? your mom's not doing well. And then she's suddenly discharged again. These hospitals can commit, or they've done it in the past, and instead they're just discharging her when she's not well. I mean, how do we go from she's not well to she's suddenly well, or suddenly fine to come home, to live alone in Auntie's downstairs apartment, mind you. Bet. Yeah, I could get a free attorney, would have a field day with that. Just the fact that, like Joe says, your aunt wasn't doing anything. She was out of the picture. Had you handling it even when she was still the healthcare proxy, wanted nothing to do with anything. Oh, I could get an attorney who would have a field day with that shit. And then suddenly, when it's worthwhile to her, she wants to try to make her sister well again and whatnot, okay? Yeah. But other than that, you left me to deal with it all, and she belongs in a nursing home. Oh, yeah. I could get an attorney who would have a field day with that shit. Never forget, I'm entitled to get it. That's what he said down the street. He's like, get a free attorney, you have no money. You're entitled to fight this. This is your fucking mother. This is your, you know what I mean? Your mother who you were taking care of, not Auntie. Write a note to her primary care physician. Remember, the first time I'd met him for 4 days after my mom got discharged too soon. What can we do? I don't want he knows I was sincere. I met with him for a fucking hour and a half. He knows damn well I was sincere. When I sat with my mom all day long when she had that lithium toxicity thing, they know I was sincere. Later, when my mom wound up section 2 days after being discharged too soon from those assholes, the crisis guy, I stayed there all day long to be able to talk to somebody about what had happened. My poor mom, 2 days after she came up with such a horrible condition, okay? Stayed there all day long and wound up talking to him. He knew I was sincere. I could send a note to any of these people. I could send a note to her primary care physician and say, Auntie was doing nothing while I was killing myself, trying to help my mom, save my mom from herself. And you are a human being, who knows firsthand I speak the truth. All these people know. These professionals know. I was just kill them. And so we don't just have regular people like the woman down the street and those people who are gone for till the summertime. And I need to write to her. I wrote to her. They still don't have any fucking court paper. I write to her. I cry to myself to sleep every night. She keeps asking me, do you know how your mom's doing? No, I'm not allowed to know anything. You understand? Joe's really fucking smart. He didn't get it. A couple weeks ago, he sent me an email saying, you should go to your mom and say, why don't you want to sell your home to me for $1 or some stupid stuff. And he's not grasping the conservator guardianship, what that means. I don't know why. He's stuck on it still. It doesn't, no, it's not. You don't get it. You don't get it, Joe. I wish you did, but you don't. Setting aside the fact I couldn't go there anyway, I'd be arrested, okay? But he said that, and then he's like, and if she says no, you say, why do why did you do this to me? I can read you. I can share the exact email with you. I'd have to print it out, though, because remember, I have a computer access here to just go on my computer like I used to do, read you something from Joe or something from whoever. Why did you do this to me? You left me homeless, or what? Why would, he doesn't get it. I'm telling you, he's going to read those court transcripts. He's going to fly into. He's going to be very, very upset. I already know what they say. I can imagine. Or maybe not. Like I said, Auntie could spin whatever tale she wants. Maybe I can't imagine. Maybe Joe can't imagine. Maybe it's so whatever, Maybe Auntie just said whatever the fuck she wanted to say, whether or not it was the truth. Just like she told me before, I knew my mom was taking her meds. And Auntie was saying she's off her meds to the police who came here. And I was saying she's been taking her meds. She had this breakdown taking her meds, and Auntie takes me to the side in another room. We have to say what we have to say to the police to get your mom the help she needs, Lars. Basically, we have to lie. Okay? That's what Auntie was saying to me. I'll never forget that either. Because I'm big on telling the truth. And Auntie's giving me, I'm living here and I'm saying she was taking her meds. Auntie's sitting there saying she wasn't. And it reminded me of how in the past when I wasn't living here, when my mom would insist she was taking her meds, but now I know Auntie's how Auntie operates. The way if the police are here, you say whatever you need to say, but then my poor mom is listening and she knows she's been taking her meds, It doesn't matter. In Auntie's eyes, you say whatever you need to say to get her, section. You lie, She said it outright to me. Just like she told me to fucking forge my mom's name on the healthcare proxy. Because Auntie doesn't think that it's necessary, even though it's on there, to have two witnesses to witness it. Okay? Waiting for you guys to tell me if it's even legal without the witnesses. Auntie, of course, years claimed otherwise during our pseudo-friendship. She was trying to explain everything to me. But all I know is when I was in LA, my mom called me up crying. I just found out Auntie has a power of attorney over me. My mom was crying her eyes out. She cried to Hope, too, Donald's mom. And so whatever. Again, Auntie's husband drew it up. 2 sons signs as witnesses. That's what I found out later when I got a hold of the thing. But my mom obviously it wasn't, my mom didn't know what it was. If she's going to call me up crying and saying, I just found out, she didn't know what she signed. Auntie can claim otherwise till the cows come home, but I'm not the only one who knows that my mom was crying and saying, I just found out, I don't know what this is, you know what I mean? No, that was years ago. So that in and of itself prompted Hope to say to me, you know, your aunt's after your estate. And then I would always mouth the, no, she's not, she has enough money of her own, blah, 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 whatever. And then people would call me naive and say, when it's money and power, greed, it doesn't matter, it's, you can never have enough, etc., etc. The fact is, it doesn't matter if that was ever on the up and up or what Auntie says. Auntie later said, no, we did that durable power of attorney, whatever. Your mom knew that was because she had saw what happened to her husband with the deceitful conservator who had, you know, who had taken over everything and whatnot, and we wanted to do this to make sure that could never happen to your mom. Yeah, because you would technically belong to you, everything. But, you know, but I don't matter, and I'm not allowed to be concerned or whatever, because like you said during our pseudo-friendship, well, your mom's money was really never any of your business. Yeah, that sums it up, Auntie. Sums up your mentality. Like I said, she's said it before, you wouldn't have any, she's right. My mom wouldn't have had anything if not for Auntie, but the price was total subservience on my mom's part to Auntie, and having, you know, and having to put up with my mom, and trying to turn my mom against me constantly, and, you know, Auntie doesn't like me, so she wants my mom to not like me. That's the bottom line. And I got it from my mom, so Auntie can't deny it, okay? Auntie would even call my mom up in a mental hospital trying to turn my mom against me when my mom's in a vulnerable, you know, state of mind. You think I'm kidding about what I said in that other video? I've often wished that Auntie was not a part of the equation. Not that she wasn't her sister, that she'd never done anything. So what? So what? So my mom would have been, you know, there would have never been any fucking conflict with my mom feeling like she can't even care about her own daughter or help her own daughter. My family hates me, my daughter, because I gave my daughter money. I have it in a fucking journal that my mom will never. She wanted it back. I'll never give it to her. It's hidden, and she will never have it. I showed that to those people at on Sunset. The Psychiatry of Death on Sunset in LA, in Hollywood, whatever. And I spent 4.5 hours touring, and I was so disgusted. You think that's all lies? They give you all the history of psychiatry and all the dark, dark side of it, okay? And I read Peter Bregan now. I visited the Psychiatry of Death, and I was sick and toured it for 4.5 hours, read everything, watched every video, but then we got Peter Bregan, and he was actually a psychiatrist. He's still a psychiatrist, you know what I mean? And he's disgusted with his own profession, his own people, okay? So he says right in his book, he was, you know, he's just shocked at how they are so threatened by anything that even remotely hints at, you know. What's so sad is in his book that was written 25 years ago, he's like, I'd like to see things, you know, if things don't change, this is what's going to happen, and things didn't change. They became worse and worse, where more and more and more people are forced, are just anything is considered a mental illness. They put babies on Prozac, they put babies on on psych meds. I mean, it is fucking beyond sick. Peter Bragan's still alive, and I'm sure he knows that it didn't get better.